Y acompañándonos desde su casa en Tampa, Florida, tenemos el jugador Kriz Senoga-Zake. Kriz, thank you for joining us. How you doing?
Hola, hola, ¿cómo estás?
Oh, that's good stuff, good stuff.
How you doing? I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing good, I'm doing good. How long did you rehearse that?
I practice a little bit of Spanish here in Florida. We have, a lot of culture down here.
So, first off, I'm going to ask you to tell us, we met here during the season in Puerto Rico. Tell us how'd you end up down here?
I finished my season in Germany and came down to visit Joey Graham, who was playing for Guaynabo, I believe, right?
Mets, yeah.
And he was there, and he invited me down there, and had the opportunity to come down and look at the league, because I've heard a lot about the league, over the past few years as a professional basketball player. And, I always wanted to come to Puerto Rico. I've heard the wonderful sides about it through, players like Ronaldo Balkman, who plays for your national team. So had fun, came down there and hung out with Joey and had a chance to work out with him and, get to see another side of basketball.
What particularly did you like about our league?
The league is very competitive. There's a lot of reputable players. I love the fact that you guys have fans that love the sport. Like in Europe, soccer dominates most of Europe.
Right.
So there are not that many basketball dedicated fans. But in Puerto Rico, you guys have dedicated fans. There's a lot of passion for the game and, a lot of pride. And, you guys have great talent. You have Carlos Arroyo. You've had J.J. Barrera, who came from there. Ronaldo Balkman plays for your national team. And then you have a lot of other players that play in other places. Like there's one guy I played against from the other team, San Germán, and he actually played in Germany. So I remember him from there, and he was a very good player. So you guys have a lot of talent there.
Do you remember who it was?
I forgot his last name. It was one of the guards. Because it was Joey Rodriguez. He plays for VCU.
Joey.
Then there was he had a headband on. The guy had a headband. He's older.
Filiberto Rivera.
Exactly.
Yeah, Filiberto Rivera. He's one of our best. He's one of our best. So, so you want to play here, and for all the GMs that might be interested in you, give us a scouting report on you. What is Kriz Senoga-Zake's game all about?
Well, I'm a natural scorer. I love to score. I love to play a team game. I'm a combo guard, so I'm able to score if you need me to. I'm able to run a team if you need me to and pass the ball. But I pride myself on defense. I love playing defense. I hate it when somebody scores against me. So defense is my strong point, and shooting is obviously my strong point. And I just compete. I'm a competitor. I love the game a lot.
You talked to me before about you participated in some NBA camps, and of course you play professionally in Europe. Talk to me about some of those experiences.
Well, through Joey, I've had the opportunity to meet and network with a lot of people. I had the opportunity to work out with Denver Nuggets coach Jamal Mosley, and he put me through some drills, and it's a real deal. Your dream is always to play at the highest level, and it was fun being able to get out there and get on the same level as other players that you compete with on a daily basis or look up to. So for me, it's definitely a dream of mine to still achieve it, to make it to the NBA. As any player, anybody that plays basketball, you want to always play at the highest level. And whether the dream comes true or not, it's just having something to fight for, But definitely gave me a lot of good experiences. It hardened and molded my work ethic as far as what I need to work towards in the summertime and off season, and also prepared me when I go overseas, because I basically kept the same work regimen that the coach gave me, and just kept pushing, kept doing it on my off days when I was in Germany, or even in the summertime, just staying prepared. So I pretty much know most of the drills there are in basketball, because through Joey, Steve, and the coaches I've worked with, there isn't much more you can learn at this point.
So, you trained with the Denver Nuggets. Did you meet anybody important? I mean, did you meet Coach Carl? Did you did you share a court with Carmelo Anthony or somebody like that?
I definitely met Coach Carl, and I met Carmelo. I met J.R. Smith, Chris Anderson, the Birdman. They have a great facility over there in Denver, and they have a great coaching staff and great trainer. I was I actually went to the Carmelo Court as well in Denver that he built for the community and stuff like that. So I really like, Denver as a city is one of my favorite cities outside of Florida because it's very clean, it's very nice, and the NBA is a different world, like those guys really, really work hard. They prepare very detailed and they really, it's a reason there's only 400 guys in the NBA each year.
A particular question I want to ask you is about, growing up, how did you discover the game of basketball? When did you discover you were good at it, that you could pursue it as a career?
It's a funny story, right? So I was a freshman in high school, and I had a best friend of mine who was always good in everything. So I was kind of like a nerd, never heard about the game of basketball, never picked up a ball. So we were going back and forth academically, fighting and seeing who was a better academic person. And then he brought up sports. He was pretty good at sports, very good actually. And I told him I could beat him in 21. I didn't even know how to play basketball, I was just talking trash. He took me out there, he beat me 21-0 in 3 games, and then his mother beat me. So obviously the competitive side of me came out, and I wanted to learn everything about basketball. So I dedicated my summertime when we were in high school and learned how to dribble, taught myself how to shoot and things of that nature. And then after a while, things picked up. Coaches started having interest in me, and then they started toning my skills, and that's how I developed into the player I am today. And just through hard work, I caught up with a lot of people who started playing basketball at the age of 5 or age of 6. And I didn't start playing until I was almost 14, 15.
So you're telling me that you started actually playing when you were a freshman in high school. We're talking 15, 16?
Yeah, I was double dribbling. I wasn't even dribbling with one hand. I was dribbling with 2 hands.
So how old are you now?
I'm 29 now.
29. So you've been playing for 13 years.
Yep.
That's good stuff. I mean, normally most basketball players, or most athletes, for that matter, start, from 5, 6, 7, something like that. Even I started playing when I was 10, and look at me now. So it's like they say, every good sports journalist is a frustrated athlete. So anyways, what other goals do you have in mind? You told me about playing in the NBA. You wanna play here. You mentioned me about a certain national team. Talk to us about that.
Well, my mother is Kenyan, and my grandfather, he actually wrote the national anthem for Kenya, George Senoga-Zake. And I just had the opportunity because Kenya just allowed dual citizenship, so I applied for my dual citizenship, and the goal of mine is to play for the Kenyan national team once they have one. And I definitely I've been to Kenya since I left there. It's a nice place. It's very rich in culture and natural resources and stuff, and I love it. It's a nice place to go to, and definitely study your culture and your history and heritage and everything. So I'm just excited about that opportunity.
You mentioned you know 5 different languages. You gave me a little taste in the beginning, but tell me the truth. How is your Spanish?
My Spanish is okay. My girlfriend's Spanish is better. She helps me out, The way I got hers was I told her, "Tú eres una señorita bonita," and that's all I remember.
Yeah, but for a guy, that's all you need to know, pretty much, But hey, if you play down here, you're gonna have a lot of people approaching you in Spanish, so they expect you to know a little bit. Though you mentioned you like to be in the community, you like to talk to people and meet people. It leads up to this question: what type of player would a franchise be receiving in Kriz Senoga-Zake, and not just in the court but off it?
Professional. I'm a professional, whether on the court or off the court. I'm always professional. There's no trouble here. Just trying to make sure that my as a character that I show a good side of me, no matter what I do, because I represent my family, and I don't just do it for myself. I represent my family and the people that love me and support me. So I always want to make sure I'm positive in the communities and uplifting to somebody, because people watch you when you're at this point. No matter what you do, everybody's watching. Even when you don't think people are watching, people are watching. So you always want to set a perfect example. Not even a perfect example, you just want to be a role model to people, even when you don't know that you're being a role model, because everything you do is being watched.
Here's another question for you. What would playing here in our league, in BSN, or Superior Basketball League as it's translated in English, what would playing here do for your career?
Man, Puerto Rico opens up a lot of doors because like I said, it's a very reputable league. You guys have a lot of NBA players that come there, and obviously it's not an easy league to get into because you have to have some kind of resume. So they don't just take anybody from the streets. And then you guys compete. I love the way you guys compete. It's a great game. It's not where you go and you dominate. It's actually you're working on your skills, you're toning your skills, and it would open up a lot of doors because Puerto Rico is one of those leagues that's well respected around the world. So
you talked to me about some of the arenas down here, and you were quite fascinated by them. Talk to me about that.
The arenas are huge. In Germany or in Europe, you have some big arenas, and it's cool, different countries, different levels. But Puerto Rico, I was just surprised because it's just different. Like, the fans are really dedicated. As you mentioned, it's a small island, and the fan support is what blew me, and the fact that you guys have arenas that big. And I think Guaynabo is one of the arenas that was smaller than the other ones, right?
Right, there are smaller arenas, like the one where we talk to constantly, where Joey played in Guaynabo. That's one of our smaller. What have you been doing recently? You've been training. You mentioned you had a game a few days ago, and what do you got in the schedule looking forward in the near future?
Well, so far, summertime we kind of relax, but we do train, so I've been working out individually. I try to work out at least 4 to 6 hours a day, whether I'm swimming and going to the gym. They have the Pro-Am in Orlando, and the Pro-Am in Orlando is one of the best Pro-Ams, I think, in the States, because we have a lot of NBA players that live in Florida. We have Courtney Lee, Big Baby Davis, Doc Rivers' son, Austin Rivers, he plays in it, Chandler Parsons. Joey Rodriguez is playing in it with Chandler Parsons, Big Baby Davis, and we actually played against them. And I played with Joey and Stevie, so Marlo Samuels played with us for Cleveland, and Chucky Atkins. And we played against them and lost by we played against them and lost by 4. But our team is 7-2 now. I played the other night. I had 23 points. It's a very competitive league. We traveled from Tampa to Orlando, so there's a rivalry there. And of course, the fans are amazing. The DJs are amazing. They love to see us come out there and play against the Orlando teams because, again, the fans get to see NBA players and overseas players for nothing.
Chris, thank you for giving us some of your time. We enjoyed this little brief conversation we had. Much success to you. We hope to see you here come March, because our league is very good, and there's gonna be a lot of chances for you to work probably if we expand teams. So much success to you, my best to your family, and once again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I definitely look forward to being down there with you next year.